press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, hope you people are doing good. Yes, we had started a new chapter, right? Electoral politics. So what is that you people have understood till date? Or at least do you remember the previous class what actually we had learnt about these things? Maybe you do remember it. Okay, considering that you remember, let me move further today. So we had discussed about certain things, right? Regarding a story we had discussed. Apart from that, we had even discussed why election and all it is important. Should we carry out election? What exactly is election? Right. And yes, with that we had even discussed about why, what is the need of election and what makes an election democratic. Okay, when it comes to a democratic nation, they have to follow certain conditions, right? So we had come across those conditions also. And yes, should we have any political competition? So all these things we had discussed. So today, let us move further with election and its importance. What exactly is election? So as already discussed, okay, as we have already discussed, election is nothing but the process of voting to choose someone as your political leader or representative in the government. So election can be anything, right? It is just for choosing a person as your representative. You need somebody to represent you, right? As a group, you need somebody to represent you. So when you want a person to represent you, it is like you have to pick a particular person. Each and every person is having one opinion, right? So a different opinion for that matter, it's totally different opinion. So what happens to choose? Okay, majority wins, no doubt, majority. Always keep in mind, whatever may be the election, whatever kind of election they might take place, they may take let's take any kind of election for that matter. But the only thing that actually works is majority. Majority wins. The one whichever is having the majority will win the election. So election is the process of voting, that is to choose someone, okay, as either as a political leader or maybe as a representative in the government. So let us know the importance here. What happens if election is carried out? As we have already discussed, why do we need election? In that we have discussed about this. That is, it gives a choice of leadership. Definitely, we choose our leaders, right? So you get a chance to choose your leader and to know the leadership quality on that in that particular person. And even political participation, you get a chance to participate in the political this works, and people can raise their voice. So this is main thing. If at all their needs are not met, if their needs are not fulfilled, then definitely people have got all the rights to raise their voice, because they are the one who have chosen the leader. And when they have chosen the leader, they really do have all the rights to question them, saying that what actually you have done, so that I have to vote for you again. Right? So that matters a lot. Then every 5 years the government should be very cautious, because if at all they fail to fulfill the needs of the people, okay, if they fail to fulfill the needs of the people, definitely they will have to pack up, right? Nothing but that is sure that they have to leave the place and they have to pack up the things, because their tenure gets over, because they have not fulfilled the wish, the needs of people. They are not meeting the needs of the people. So it's of no use that they still have to be there as leader or say representative. Yes. So now let us know about what is our system of election. Do you know what is exactly the system of election? What kind of system do we follow when it comes to election? No doubt we have certain conditions. We have already discussed about the condition in the previous class. So apart from that, do we should we know what is the necessary, why we have to know the system and all? What if tomorrow you want to get into politics? You have to know, right? So that is the reason how these things are carried out. We have to know. So each and everybody knows that the tenure of our representative is 5 years. Either it may be Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha, does not matter, either at the central or at the state, does not matter. Okay, when it comes to election, it is held regularly after every 5 years. After a term of 5 years, again we come across the election. So when it comes to Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha election, or say once the term gets over, now it has to get dissolved. Because it depends, right? You cannot expect that, yes, today if you have won, if your party has won the election, does it mean that again in the next election you will be winning? It totally depends. It totally depends upon how you have treated the people, how you have reached out the people, how you have fulfilled the needs of the people. So if at all you are confident about certain things, definitely, but even then it has to get dissolved. Nothing but because every now and then the leaders will be changed, like the formation thing or formation of all the Lok Sabha and the Vidhan Sabha, it keeps changing, right? That's the reason once the 5 years, the term of 5 years is over, it gets totally dissolved. So there are election kinds, that is general election, by-election. What is general election? So as you all know, elections which are held in the constituencies, either on the same day or maybe nearby days. Okay, within a few days, those elections will be carried out. So that can be called as general election, wherein the Lok Sabha, okay, like wherein we hire or we nominate or we make a person represent in the parliament and all. So like elections, general election, okay, so it is like constituencies. You have certain constituencies and it will be carried out either on the same day or within a few days. Next comes by-elections. So by-elections are done wherein if at all a person dies, okay, within the constituency, if at all one person dies, or maybe he resigns for whatsoever matter it is, for whatsoever reason it is, he resigns from the post saying that he doesn't want to work as so and so leader or so and so minister or whatever it is. If those things happen, then definitely in one particular constituency again they have to conduct the election because they have to fill the vacancy there. If at all, imagine there is X and Y. Okay, there are many leaders. Let's take many leaders. There are a person called as X and Y. Now X and Y died. Okay, X has resigned, saying that he doesn't want to work further. Now at that particular time, by-election will be done. Sometimes it will be only the death. Okay, sometimes it would be just the resignation. So if at all the particular seat gets vacated, then it has to be filled, right? To fill up the vacated seat, either by death or by resignation, we conduct by-election. Okay, so the next is electoral constituencies. So when it comes to electoral constituencies, how it is done? What actually it is? Why we have to have this electoral constituencies? So you might have heard about ward and all, right? You might have heard about ward. Sometimes you come under ward number 3, sometimes it would be ward number 4. Have you ever thought why this was under 3, why it has come to 4, or why it is why the ward is changed? So all these things comes to your mind, right? So let us know about that thing today. So electoral constituencies, we follow being Indians, or say we have this democratic style of nation, right? So we have a representative form of government. So what actually is representative form of government? It is nothing but through adult franchising. Now what is adult franchising? Whenever a person attains the age of 18 years, he gets the right to vote. Right to vote is a legal right. He gets the right to vote and choose his representative. So when he is planning to choose his representative, it is nothing but he wants his representative to form a government and to represent him. It is like it is an indirect voice from the people. Okay, the representative will be an indirect voice of the people. So what they do, and we have this representative form of government, right? So when it comes to representative form of government, it is the representative who will be forming the government, okay, and he will be taking care of the particular constituency or particular area. Now, as it is based upon, the election is based upon representation, there has to be certain constituencies. So what all constituencies do come here? So when it comes to electoral constituencies, for the purpose of election, the country is divided into different areas. So how do they, is it area wise or is it the border, what I can say, the boundary wise they do? No. It is based upon the population. Okay, so it is based upon the population. So what they do, they form the different areas as a different constituency. So that will be called as electoral constituencies. And yes, the voters from an area elect one representative. It is for sure, right? Maybe you vote, but what happens? Because of majority, one particular person wins there. So each and every area will be like the people elect one representative. So for Lok Sabha elections, the country is divided into 543 constituencies. So imagine 543 constituencies. Okay, so when it comes to Lok Sabha seats, we need 543 seats. Like those, the areas will be divided as constituencies, and that totally 543 constituencies. So when it comes to the representative, okay, elected from each constituency, he will be called as member of parliament. We call them as MP, right? So the representative elected, imagine there is a constituency. From there, one person is being elected. So that person will be considered as member of parliament, MP. So as we know that equal value is given to each vote, okay, whatever it may be. Now, if at all I have voted, if at all they are considering my vote is equal to one vote, then each and every person whosoever in my ward or my constituency, whosoever has voted, even their vote will be equal to one vote. Imagine if my one vote is considered to be equal to two votes, it has to be treated even for others the same way. So what they say, one vote, equal value. Okay, so whatever it may be, if at all one vote carries 5 voting, or say like the value of 5 votes, then the same will be applicable even to the others here. So that is the feature, the main feature of democracy, or say democratic election. So you know very well there is a difference between democracy and the countries which are not democratic, or say they don't follow the democracy and all, right? So you know the differences. So when it comes to this, okay, like it is a feature of the democratic election that one vote should carry one equal value. So that's the reason constituencies should have equal amount of population. So as I told you, on the basis of population, okay, if at all in one particular area, if you count how many voters are there, and if there are 20,000 voters, then in the other area also they consider the same thing. So on the basis of the population, they divide the constituencies. So that is the main thing when it comes to the constituency. So the next is again, like when it comes to electoral constituencies, what they say, further, state is divided into a specific number of assembly constituencies. Now, the very first thing when I said like 543 constituencies and all, it is the whole nation, okay. Now, when it comes to the state, okay, then again it is classified or divided into a specific number of assembly constituencies. Now here what happens, the elected representatives, okay, are called the member of legislative assembly or MLA. Now MP, then comes your MLA. So who is an MLA? The elected representative, okay, from the member of legislative assembly. Okay, now as I told you to the state, now each state, okay, first it comes the central, okay, next comes the state. State is divided, again it is divided into specific number of assemblies, okay, assembly constituencies. Now whosoever wins, whosoever representative, whichever representative wins from that legislative assembly, that person will be called as MLA, member of legislative assembly. So that is how we call him. So parliamentary constituencies has several assembly constituencies, and the same is followed for panchayat and municipal elections. So when it comes to parliamentary form or say constituencies, whatever rules and regulations will be applicable and how they form, okay, like the same way it is followed for panchayat and even municipal elections. So when it comes to panchayat or say municipal election, further they say like this: each village or even the town, it is divided as a ward. Okay, constituencies. So ward is a general term when it comes to the village or town, because it is village or say town, right? So there they call it as they don't call or represent it as constituency, but they call it as a ward. So then each ward will, they elect one member of village or urban local body, and these constituencies are counted as seats sometimes. Each constituencies, okay, they are called as seats here. And yes, do you remember, like in the previous class we had discussed about Lokdal, how he did win 60 seats. So does it mean like he won 60 assembly? It means like 60 assembly constituencies in the state, and it means like 60 MLA are being elected, or say they have been selected, or they have won the election. So 60 MLA, member of legislative assembly. So assembly, out of assembly constituencies, 60 seats were elected, right? It is regarding the Haryana, right? It is regarding Haryana. So there he won by 60 seats, right? He did win 60 seats. So it means that out of 60 constituencies, 60 MLAs have come from his what I can say particular party. From his party, 60 seats are being won. So the next comes reserved constituencies. See, usually we have a reservation of seats everywhere, right? Now what is reservation now? Definitely it is for the betterment. Now imagine when it comes to in general, reservation is for their usage, nothing but it is just for those people itself. Now you have come across reservation in the railways, reservation in nothing but you book the place for yourself, well advanced, right? Yes. So in the same way, there are certain seats which are reserved for few of the people. See, our constitution has given, it has allowed to choose it has given the freedom for all the people to choose their representative, first thing. The second is, when that has been given, okay, it is like even the candidates, okay, those who are representing their political party and the candidates are coming. So how those people have to come into, or how those are chosen, okay, so that actually depends. Now, when our constitution has given the right to choose our representatives, apart from that, even the constitution makers, they have given the freedom of competition, right? The political competition, what we have discussed in the previous class. So here, see, when it comes to our constitution, it allows to choose our representative, no doubt. But yes, the makers always had a fear. What was the fear all about? The fear what they had was the weaker sections may not be allowed to get elected. So that was the fear they had. Okay, they always had a fear that maybe the weaker sections may not work very well, or they will not get a chance to be a representative, or they might be ignored totally, and even they may not be allowed to get elected elected to the Lok Sabha or say state legislative assembly. So that thing was there in the constitution makers. So when they have allowed all these things, when they know the situation, right? They will be knowing the situation better. Now, what they felt is, why these people, okay, the weaker sections, okay, these people may not be left, or they may not be allowed to get elected to the Lok Sabha. Why this doubt arise? Because they lack with education, okay, or required resources may not be available with them. even the contacts, they may not be influenced person because they are weaker section, wherein people, most of the strong section people, they may not care for all these people, right? So totally the one who are let out. So what happened? They lack with education, or say even they may not have the contacts to contest or win against others. So the constitution makers, they had this fear. So that's the reason. What did they plan? They thought of reserving certain seats, because there are people who are totally influential in nature. Okay, they are totally influenced. What they do, they use those influences to win the election, and maybe even they are totally resourceful, they are well educated. Okay, so what they do, they may prevent these weaker sections from winning the election. So that was the fear. Okay, so because of that fear itself, what happened? Usually if this happens, what happens, the parliament and assemblies would be deprived of the significant section of our population. Even these people are necessary, right? Because when we say constitution, it means like equality, right? Equal treatment to all. So when those that has to happen, it means that we have to even bring the weaker section, so that the parliament, or say that the government, knows and understands the problem of each and every person there. So that's the reason. If these people are totally deprived, like totally, they are not given any chance to be elected in the Lok Sabha, or say even for the state legislative assembly, so it goes difficult, right? So it would make our democracy less representative and less democratic in nature. Democracy itself says that, yes, government of, by and for the people. So people. So if at all one section you are not allowing that section to come further, okay, come forward, then what it happens, it would be very difficult. So that's the reason, as the weaker section would lack with education, or say the contacts needed to win and to contest in the election and to win, or they may not have the required resources, and there are people who are influential in nature. So that's the reason, keeping these things in mind, they did reserve certain seats in the constituencies. So how these seats are reserved, let us know about that. So as they felt that yes, weaker sections are not given importance, or probably they thought that yes, a special system can help, okay, that is reservation of seats in the constituencies may help the weaker section. They came up with this scheme, or say a reservation of seats in the constituencies. So when it comes to reservation of seats in the constituencies, they came across this, that is, some constituencies are reserved for people from scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. So always remember SC and ST what we say. So when it comes to scheduled caste or say tribe, only the person belonging to SC can stand for election when it comes to scheduled caste, and only person whosoever is belonging to ST can stand for ST, nothing but scheduled tribes, okay, nothing but only because he is SC, he cannot go and represent in the ST, or some person who is ST, he cannot opt for SC. Only the person who is belonging to SC or say ST, only those people are allowed to represent their seats in the election. They have to come from that particular area itself, that particular group itself. So SC, either SC or say ST. So when it comes to Lok Sabha, total seats that is reserved, okay, as per 2012 document, okay, as on 1st September 2012, this is regarding that. 84 seats are reserved for SC and 47 seats are reserved for ST. So good amount, right? Out of 543 seats, we have 84 seats for SC and 47 seats for ST. So this is in the year 2012. Okay, so the system of reservation, it is like extending, okay, for even a weaker section at not only in the Lok Sabha, but even at the district and say a local level. Okay, even there they are reserving the seats for the betterment of the weaker section. In many states, it so happens that seats in rural, that is panchayat, or say urban municipalities, or say corporations, local bodies, even the local bodies, they have come up with OBC, other backward classes. Okay, so what they do now, you see SA and STs, those are given they are getting the seats in the Lok Sabha election. Even that is followed at other bodies, that is district and local level. Apart from that, even they have taken the reservation for even OBC, that is other backward classes. So the seat reserved, it varies from state to state. Okay, they do not have any particular, that is not nowhere mentioned that yes, only this much of seats or these many seats has to be reserved. They have mentioned nowhere. So that's the reason the reservation of seats, it differs from one state to another. Okay, whenever they feel that okay, the seats has to be reserved, then they are reserving, else there is no reservation of seats. Like few states do not have such reservation, few states do have reservation, and yes, there is no particular kind of numbers, so and so seats has to be reserved for each and every state, nothing as such. So from state to state it differs, like how many seats has to be reserved and all, it depends upon the state. Okay, the state will be deciding. So 1/3 seats, apart from these things, OBC or say SC, STs, apart from those, even women are getting the chance here. Good, right? Women empowerment. 1/3 seats are reserved for women, that too in rural and urban local bodies. So you can imagine, even when we are saying that yes, developing, the states are developing. See, weaker sections, as even women are vulnerable, right? Women, children and all vulnerable, but yes, children cannot contest here, but women can do, right? So that's the reason even women are getting chance in the election, that is 1/3 seats are reserved for women in rural and urban local bodies. Okay, yes. So the next is voters list. So as you all know, voters list are very much important. So why voters list is important? See, without making any voters list, we cannot call out the election, right? See, as we have formed, now the constituencies are formed, right? So once they form the constituencies with reserved seats for the weaker section and all, then comes the list of voters, which is very much important. And yes, do remember, the one who does this voters list has to be very cautious, because he does it at the cost of his job. If at all he deletes any name without asking them, or he adds on some other person's name, then he will be questioned, like why the thing has come, why you have done this. So that's the reason the one who prepares this voters list should be very, very cautious. Now, while doing this voters list, they should know the eligibility, who can vote, who cannot vote. This they have to know very well. So there is something called as electoral roll, okay, which is officially called as electoral roll, voters list. Okay, in general we call it as voters list, but in officially, when it comes to official language, we represent it as electoral roll. So as you all know, in a democratic election, the voters list are prepared very early. Okay, that has to be prepared very early and even distributed, okay, to the eligible voters. You get you can ask your parents, they will be knowing. They get this slip wherein their name will be there, even the ward number will be there, where their name exists, they have to go there and they can vote. All these things will be there. Maybe recently in 2019 you might have come across that, right? Yes. So this is very important. Making this voters list is very important, because there should not be any discrimination of rich, poor, or on the basis of race or gender or anything, because each and every person, okay, each and every person should get a chance. There may be people who are very educated, there may be people who are not totally educated, right? So when it comes to even these things, there should not be any discrimination. So whosoever is eligible, that is adult franchisee, as and when a person attains the age of 18 years, he should get the right to vote, which is a legal right, right? So when these rights are being given by the constitution itself, we have no rights to stop that person from voting. So every vote should carry equal value. So being in the democratic politics, this is the main feature, that is each and every vote carries equal value. So as every citizen is having right to choose his representative, there should be no discrimination. Do remember, there should not be any discrimination regarding this. So that is there, every vote should carry equal value and all that is there. Apart from that, every citizen should get a right to vote and he cannot be stopped from any person from voting. So the other day we have discussed, that is Ashby versus White, wherein the person was not allowed to vote. So this is in foreign nation, no doubt. Even in India many a times it does happen. So in India, adult franchise is adopted, as I have told you. There won't be, regardless of any of the caste, religion and gender, the person, once he attains the age of 18 years and if he is fulfilling all the eligibility, then definitely he would be allowed to vote. So that cannot be taken up by any person here. So when it comes to voters list, there are few cases where the person will not be allowed to vote. That is, if at all a person is of unsound mind, okay, whose mind is totally unstable, or say if at all the person is criminal. This rarely happens, okay. Even if a person is very criminal, then definitely that person will not be allowed to vote. Apart from that, no person will be discriminated. So it is the responsibility of whom? Again, government, right? Government has to take the responsibility to get all the list of the voters, okay, like if at all they are eligible, they have to get the list of those people. And yes, every 5 years there will be addition, deletion, maybe deletion because of the death, or probably they have changed the place, or maybe new names will be added because they have attained the age of 18 years, right? So these things will take place. So the voters list should be done by the government in its responsibility. It is totally the government's responsibility that they have to come up with a good voters list. And yes, they have to keep it updated. Every 5 years, they have to get a updated list of voters. Now there is a new system, that is EPIC, what we call, okay, election photo identity card, wherein the system makes every voter to carry it, like as an ID. You might have checked, you might have seen the voter's ID, right? Yes. So the voter's ID will show you that yes, like that card has to be carried. Most of the people now, it is not a compulsion, okay. Voters ID is not compulsion. Few people have carried even their Aadhaar card or some other IDs if their name was there in the list, and maybe they have not yet received the election card and all, then definitely those votes are also being accepted if they really do have a ID which is valid. Okay, it has to be legal, it should be valid in nature. If those are produced, definitely they are allowed to vote there. So again, like as I told you, EPIC is a new way wherein they have to carry the voter's ID as an identity and they can vote. Apart from that, even Aadhaar card and all is accepted. Okay, so how the nomination is done? So this is regarding the candidates. Now voters list is over. We have got all the voters list, the new names with new names, addition, deletion, everything. That has to be taken care by the government itself, and government will be held responsible for those works. Now how the candidates are nominated? Should they have any particular education here, or should they have any, is there any particular thing that has been mentioned if the person wants to get nominated? See, we have known that every citizen has a right again to choose his representative, and people should have the real choice. Okay, they are the one who will be choosing their representative. So this is possible only when there are no restriction on anyone. Okay, so there should not be any restriction on any person to contest an election. Okay, there should not be any restriction. So anyone can be a voter, or anyone also can be a candidate for election. But do remember, if you want to be a voter, you should have attained the age of 18 years, and if you want to be a candidate for election, definitely it is 25 years. And political parties, how do they nominate their candidate? The one who gets the party symbol and even more supporters. Okay, the one who is having the more supporters and even the party like a symbol and all, then the party nomination. Okay, like party always nominates such a person, and the person whom they nominate, like, or they the party nomination will be called as what? Party ticket. Okay, they call it as a party ticket. And the person who wishes to contest an election has to fill this nomination. Okay, like he has to fill nomination form and even should give a certain sum of money as a deposit here, security deposit. We call it as a security deposit. So he has, the main thing is he has to fill the nomination form and even he should give the security deposit in case if he does anything, if there are any problem or he does any illegal activity, or sometimes he will be punished, right? Like those amount can be taken. And then under the direction of the Supreme Court, new directions are introduced here. Let us know about the new direction that has been given by the Supreme Court here. Very first is, yes, the nomination picture you can see there. Yes, the person who wishes to contest an election has to fill this nomination form and even he has to give money as a security deposit. Apart from that, every candidate has to make a legal declaration. What legal declaration he has to give? Certain details he has to come up with. So what all the details he should give? The very first thing is, does he have any serious criminal cases pending against him? Okay, that thing he has to explain, or that complete information he has to give. Then details of the assets and liabilities of the candidate and regarding his or her family, that has to be given. Educational qualification. Why educational qualification is necessary? Definitely this helps the public to know like what kind of candidate he is. Whether he is well educated, can we accept him? Can we vote for him? So that's the reason educational qualification is also necessary. Do remember that is not compulsion. We do not have any educational, only this education is needed and all. There is no proper, or they have not mentioned anywhere. But yes, whatever education he has got, whatever educational qualification he has, that has to be mentioned so that it would be very easy for the public, it should be made public, okay, whatever these things are there, it should be made public so that the voters gets a chance to know the things better. Nothing but he can take the better decision there. Okay, so that's the reason the candidate should give all these details. So now, the very big question is whether a person should have, the educational qualification. Should there be any definite kind of education here? See, that is not made compulsion. The reason is, when it comes to the sports, especially let's take cricket, football, etc., when you are playing these games, do they ask for your educational qualification? Definitely not. Your age might matter. Your age might matter for the retirement and all, definitely that is there. But your skills are checked, right? Your skills are very much important rather than your education. That's the reason when it comes to even the candidates, they don't think about the education. Minimum education is necessary, okay, maybe schooling or even the secondary schooling and all, that is there. Apart from that, they have never mentioned any particular degree and all for getting nominated here. The reason is, they might have skills. So on depending upon the skills itself, okay, these things are taken and it should be left to the people to decide. Even if at all they are mentioning any of the education qualification, it is better to be left to the people, because let people decide what education has to be there to be a candidate, okay, for the nomination. And in our country, putting an educational qualification would go against the spirit of democracy. So being in a democracy, again it would go against the democratic views, okay, and depriving the majority of the country's citizens the right to contest election will again, there will be a deterioration. And yes, if for example, okay, a graduate degree like maybe BA, BCom, etc. are being mentioned, then even 90% of the citizens will become ineligible. So see, what does this mean? That our candidates are not well educated, but they do have the skill. They are very much they are so intelligent that they know how to handle the situation, how to come out of the situation, how to handle people, how to communicate with people, how to take care of the people. As they are experts, as they have the skill, we do not have any particular educational qualification that has been mentioned. Clear, students? So that's the reason nowhere it is mentioned regarding the minimum educational qualification that is necessary for electoral candidate. Nowhere it is mentioned. But yes, if you are eligible, okay, if you have attained the age of 25 years and yes, the minimum qualification is necessary, or even sometimes if you are enough bold to handle each and everything as it is required, definitely the person his skills matters a lot. So today we have discussed about the nomination of candidates, how the candidates are nominated, and even we have discussed about how is the system of election, okay, and yes, electoral constituencies, how it is formed, and what are the importance, okay, why it is important for making these constituencies, and even reserved constituencies. We will discuss about this, and the main thing is voters list. Yes, there are certain more things that we have to discuss. It is related to election campaigning, regarding nomination of candidates. So there are certain things that will be discussed, and polling and counting of votes. How do they pool and how do they count the votes and all? And what makes election in India as democratic? Are there any reasons? Okay, these things will be discussed in the next class. Thank you so much, dear students, for your patience. Okay, and yes, dear students, if you have any doubts, you can contact me at any time. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you.